Welcome everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the patterns of calcification in brain tumors. So when we are coming the hyperintense lesion or hyperdense lesion, always it is a confusion between calcification and hemorrhage. So for the identification of the calcification, you have to take a plain CT. And if the Hounsfield unit is more than 100, it is classified as a calcification. And if it is more 40 to 65, 45 to 65, it depends upon the gray matter, white matter, age of the hemorrhage. It is blood. Regarded as the blood. So any hyperdense lesion in the plain CT, you have to define by Hounsfield unit either hemorrhage or a calcification. In MRI, it is slightly tricky. So we have to take a special sequence called susceptibility weighted phase image, where it is the identification some amount of blood or hemorrhage calcium, both which may be inapparent within normal other MRI sequences. QSMRI, another sequence where is more sensitive differentiating the bleed and calcification. Here another susceptibility to phase image, where you can black arrow here, we can see here it is some type of a calcification in oligodendroglioma, and that hemorrhage, post-op hemorrhage is differentiating in the white arrow. So white arrow is the hemorrhage and black arrow is the calcification in susceptibility weighted phase image. Here another calcification you will see here, cortical calcification and hypointense on the T2. So if you see, this is the in susceptibility to weighted images, it looks hypointense. Here we can see here, it is a chronic bleed in the frontal. So it is a frontal lobe. Here you can see the chronic bleed, which is hyperintense on T2. Hypo susceptibility to image, but in phase image, susceptibility to phase weighted phase image, it is hyperintense, but in QS image, it is more evident. The image looks more hyperintense. Calcified subependymal nodules in the patient of tuberous sclerosis. You can see here hyperintense lesion here and with central hypointense in T2 image. In susceptibility to weighted image, it looks hypointense. In susceptibility to weighted phase image, the lesion is varied appearance, mostly hypointense. And in QSA image, you can see the nodules mostly hypointense, and other nodules are hypointense also. So let's discuss. So in before slides, I discussed about the differentiating between calcification and hemorrhage in normal CT scan as well as in the MRI. So QSM is more sensitive, differentiating calcification and hemorrhage, and susceptibility to phase image is differentiating calcification and hemorrhage also. So in normal calcifications, primary familial brain calcification occurs when abnormal calcium deposition in the form of blood vessels forming the blood vessels in the brain. Intracranial calcification refer to calcification within the brain parenchyma or vasculature. Their prevalence is roughly 1% in young individual, up to 20% in elderly. However, brain calcifications are reported in 72% in autopsy cases with microscopic calcification is most common. So I will show you how some normal calcifications you see in the plain CT, where basal ganglial calcifications, pineal calcification seen here. It is a normal pineal gland calcification, nothing to worry. Choroid plexus calcification, again it is a normal. Basal ganglial calcifications, you can see here basal ganglion older patients. Plaques calcification, dentate nucleus calcification, dural calcifications, Havenular calcification. So these calcifications are normal. So sometimes we see calcifications. These are we have to remember these sites as a normal calcification. Tumor calcification is another very important thing. You can identify, you can the tumor type of the tumor. Intraaxial tumors are associated with hemorrhage by combination of neovascularization, evasions, rapid tumor growth leading to necrosis, disruption of intracellular calcium regulation, which ultimately leads to the calcium deposition. So there are various causes of pathological calcification, may be congenital, non-congenital, metabolic, vascular, and neoplastic. But I prefer to talk about the neoplastic as I am an oncologist. So mostly neoplastic lesions are oligodendroglioma, craniopharyngioma, germ cell, neurocytoma, prenates, ependymoma, ganglioglioma, meningioma, medulloblastoma, and pilocytic astrocytoma. When there is a doubt, we should go for a diagnostic algorithm. It may be intraaxial or extraaxial. If there is a unique single site calcification, mostly primary tumor and metastasis. And if it is multiple, mostly to vascular malformations, infections, metabolic. If it is extraaxial, mostly primary tumors and metastasis, and others are dystrophic vascular lesions. So we have to divide into intraaxial, extraaxial, single or multiple or unique. So again, I can show you the neoplasms like astrocytoma, oligoastrocytoma, ganglioma, medulloblastoma, metastatic, craniopharyngioma, pineal tumors, meningioma, germ cell tumors, intraventricular impotence. These tumors are mostly calcified. So they have various typical calcifications in the name. Astrocytoma may give heterogeneous oligodendroglioma nodular clumped, ganglioglioma with mural calcified nodule, medulloblastoma teeny scattered dots at clumped, meningioma sand-like sunburst and globular, craniopharyngioma teeny and circumference chunky, pineal tumors peripheral exploded pattern calcification, germ cell tumor heterogeneous calcification, lipoma axial calcification, ependymoma dots or mass rock-like calcification, central neurocytoma dots and large masses. So these are the characteristic of the various tumors and their calcification, named calcifications. So this is a scattered and clumped calcification by patient of medulloblastoma, scattered and clumped, it is a medulloblastoma. Intraventricular meningioma, blus-like calcification, blus, and with long hair we can see, and a ream of calcification here. So this is the meningioma. Central neurocytoma, conglomerates of calcification, central conglomeration. It is a conglomeration of calcifications. Intraventricular ependymoma, dense mass-like calcification, intraventricular ependymoma. Pineal teratoma, conglomerate, again conglomerate calcification, pineal teratoma. Pineocytoma, mostly peripheral calcification here. Peripheral ream-like calcification in the craniopharyngiomas, peripheral ream-like in craniopharyngioma. Cortical small calcification in oligodendroglioma. You can see small calcifications, a plain sheet in grade 2 tumor. You can find out is mostly oligodendroglioma. Calcified meningioma in long-standing meningioma can calcify also. This is called calcified meningioma. Mural calcification in the ganglioglioma. So this is a mural calcification. This is a mural calcification in the ganglioglioma. And the pituitary adenoma also, sometimes it is calcify. You can see here. Microadenoma. Lipoma, you can see egg cell calcification. Egg cell calcification in lipoma. This is the characteristic of the egg cell lipoma. Punctate calcification in metastasis. Punctate calcification, various punctate calcification in metastatic lesion. Pilocytic astrocytoma, here one is a massive calcification, and it is very rare, but massive calcification, and you can see here complete surgical excision here. Supratentorial pinnate is a varied calcification, supratentorial pinnate here. Cauliflower-like calcification in choroid plexus papilloma. So I always acknowledge, I take the pictures and slides from the Google SlideShare and YouTube. I always acknowledge the Google, and thank you very much. And I pray for the people who are suffering because of these calcifications, and hope they will get they will not have any problems. Thank you very much.